I call K12. I call a good market. Produce a gram. Pass up the speaker. Cooperative. 12. I call a good market. Produce a gram. Pass up the speaker.
Welcome in our midst, Uncle. We have just started our program a few seconds ago. And before we start, it's always good to call God in the middle and put the whole day in the hand of the Lord. The Bible says, Psalm 133:1, Bible, we are to start with a prayer, just an opening prayer, having our bishop here. So Dr. Isaiah, we just ask you to give us 1 minute of prayer.
Let's pray together, shall we? Our Heavenly Father, we acknowledge that you are the source of wisdom in all that we do in life and for life. We thank you for this gathering, and we ask our Father, coming as it does at the time of Christmas, we pray that the peace of God that passes all human understanding will reign and rule in our hearts. So at the beginning of this program, may we be constructive in all that we say and do. May you bless every speaker. Let our gathering be a joy and blessing. And we ask it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you so much. So, tolerate us. Today's event is for Caucus, end of year party. I'm sure most of you have heard about Caucus and have seen the president of Caucus for the last 3 years. Today we decided to celebrate our day differently and nicely, for sure. And we put it under the theme, Gungurut. That is a Dinka word, mean letters. And the word means let us tolerate each other. I might not be so good to you, but let's tolerate to have ourselves in one place. Let's tolerate each other to live together as in unity. And that refers you back to the verse I read on Psalm 133. Now we are about to start our program. If we're having this beautiful event today, there was an organizing committee that made sure this day comes this beautiful. We came to one of the most expensive hotels in Juba for now, and there was that organizing committee. So put your hands together to welcome Simon Akwi, the chairperson of the organizing committee.
Thank you very much, Honorable Tom, His Excellency, the Advisor, our colleague, His Grace, Bishop Majung, our MPs, our generals who are here, our lecturers, members of the Caucus, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I take this opportunity to welcome you to Caucus Year Party 2022. Can we clap for ourselves? It is yet another year that has passed, and the peace in South Sudan is holding, that creates a joy in our hearts and in our businesses and in whatever we do in our daily lives. I welcome all our speakers. I know some people have so many programs today, and we'll give you an opportunity to leave early. So in case your time comes, please you request that you want to go to the next program, because I know Saturdays and Sundays are busy days, especially in Juba here. Gumkurut. Gumkurut. Gumkurut is the theme of this celebration. And for us, Gumkurut Gum means a lot. Caucus are about 71 members, and we have lived for a very long time now together. Can Caucus clap for themselves? That is why Bunkurik remains as a slogan and as a theme at the same time. That 71 young people of different educational background, different way of life, can stick together for a number of years, and they continue to stick together in the year 2023. This is wonderful, and I want to appreciate ourselves for that. Second, as we have been staying together, ladies and gentlemen, we have realized if we don't do something to ourselves as members of Caucus, then we will start to lose the test of being together. When we were in Kenya in the 1990s, the Kenyan imported a car called Matatu, small one. When Kibaki came into power, they brought in a minibus, looked like Costa, but made in Kenya. And they realized with your own Matatu, you cannot make a difference. So they formed what are called cooperatives. 3, 4, 5 Matatus form a cooperative. And out of your income, you have to remove some amount of money and you keep it in the bank account that is meant for the cooperatives. Then members of the cooperatives decide to say, let's have a merry-go-round. Let's make a round that what we have saved, we will be leaving 70% of what we have saved, and we will be giving 30% to one of the members every time it comes around. Today, cooperatives are all over in Kenya, and it has created an economic nucleus that has benefited small and medium enterprises in Kenya. So I want to say, as members of the Caucus, as we stay together, we dance together, we do whatever we do together, it is time to graduate from what we do to a self-beneficial programs that will benefit individual members, that will uplift their economic positions from point A to point B. Okay, why should someone be an entrepreneur? There is an organization in the US called Entrepreneurship Organization. They have a theme. They say, entrepreneurship changed life. I went for training in 2017 with them for about a month and really changed my ideas. How do entrepreneurship change life? If 71 members contribute $100, how much is that money? $7,000, right? Okay. If $7,000 is given to somebody who earns $700, how many times is $7,000 into $700? I feel that is a lot of money for somebody who earns $700 to be given $7,000 in one go. Whatever he cannot afford to finance, he or she will have an opportunity to finance that project for $7,000. So it's time, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency the Advisor, it's time that we graduate from the consumable cooperatives to a beneficial cooperatives. That we, instead of contributing money and we use it, we dance, at the end of the day we pay for it, for our bills, and we go home. It is better we continue to do that as a leisure, but also create a plan B to be able to finance our own bills, either in our houses, be it in our schools, or be it whatever you want to build, your own small Cuba. I believe this will take us forward. The second objective is helping others, which remain in place. Because we as working in the society, we are people that are unable to finance themselves when they are sick, when they got an accident, when they are in the hospital. You know, that is in place. We will continue to do that as a corporate social responsibility agenda of Caucus. But number one, Caucus must be beneficial to its own members. And if it doesn't do that, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to die. Any organization that does not look after its members is due to die, is due to be dissolved amicably. Because at the end of the day, we get tired of being there and there is no sense of it. So I want to encourage all of us to look at how the young people, the Shabab, can be able to make money. And this is the only way this country can be peaceful. Going into entrepreneurship is peace by itself. Because you don't have to rely on whatever is in that office, in that government office. You will be independent and you will be financing others instead of financing yourself. Somebody told me today, don't leave this behind. I know we are somehow social in our living, which is good, but let us save money. Let us learn to save money. I know we want to give to our cousins, we want to give to our all over, which is a good thing. But also, for you as a pillar, invest in something that saves money. And at the end of the day, I believe it will yield results. So I want to end to say that Caucus remains a strong organization that has invested in it, that has changed our way of doing things, that it has to be beneficial to ourselves, and second, to the needy, to the community that we belong, the community of South Sudan. Up to this point, I want to appreciate, as the chairman of the organizing committee, I want to appreciate those who have contributed money to make this day a success. I want to thank you very much, very, very much, and I want you to continue to finance this organization. Because you know very well, every accountability is done in the forum, so your cash, your little money, is taken care of by Honorable Cholton, who is the chair, and Honorable Atom Kwal, who is the deputy, and Honorable Gak, who is the Secretary General. Then our Agaga Chief is around, the finance, who is taking care of the money. So let's continue to finance, but at the end of this, we'll sit for a review meeting. We need to see how can we implement this agenda. And if you are not interested, you cannot be forced. I remember Bolmayam has created a merry-go-round for a certain group that for every day you bring 1,000 pounds. It will prove to be very difficult, but it's going on. So let us put our hands together. Let's invest in ourselves while we help our communities. Ladies and gentlemen, I take this opportunity to thank you for coming, and may God bless South Sudan. May God bless Caucus.
So, Council, Gang Jurkujere, Inchalor, Bar, Kutai, we're going to give. Shukran.
Administrator, ke time ki gole ya, kami dara balwe, lagi na budgeting. Thank you very much, the MC, Honorable General Kwal, Honorable Deputy Governor, Bishop, Sir, Honorable Dengtian, General Malwal, all guests, protocol observed, and I'm talking here. I believe 90% I call it here. Where we look on the way down and they're upping a bit. In between, we take a mod, we take a welcome. on behalf of Caucus to the end of the year party. Caucus, the forum, abandoned in Gulwell and me because I'm Kuchen, a teach Caucus. So a car but lewe with geography, a chan a lojam by Yam Kanoi. Caucus, a geograph, a group of 5 people, 7 people get together. Joko Gambu, Juba Road. 43 people were killed, a number of people were wounded, being a Juba. Later for board. Now on, Joko Union Jam. So, Caucus, when I read what I'm doing, is that work membership down 100% because I'm doing. But when I read 10%, maybe I did to invite Iran to video translate on me. We did mean to book a marginalized so I'm doing Jamie really. I will Caucus take care of things. One chico mui, we worry. Terman Diagano, Maukin, Koi, no minor injuries, I can bear Koi, no major injuries, I can bear Juba. I want to win young thing, Jolilla, because joke when you dig a coin. Go around to really, Chewo can take a few. Who thought if we save a dream, we can save life. So that evening, we saved 2 dreams, 3 dreams. Okay. Next day, the basis of Caucus friendship, we call it together. Engage a clanmate, a workmate, a friend. So go that you are in friend, I love both friend. Both will go good job. After 3 days, go to a good amount. Go low name safe. To Quran, your world chan, Globor, Honorable King was the minister for youth at the time. He better receive Kulem back. What you call Bora Ticabella Yen, you go on 2 job. After a few days, go to a Chuba came away. Who choice soldier action group who register again another. After some time, go away by Loon, we will judge one, we will tell something. I did I tell me a little way, but a young dog. Go along, go, a bounty. Go by a picnic. After picnic, go enjoy take BMT or 2 job will cook out there and wall or Kawi. Go BMC joy establish. BMC Purwi, you won't you think? We took one chiram here, you will judge your team. You can lower team. Now, 2 things will watch you under the NGO. Let's create a social forum. Who will be at go just suggest will be at Caucus forum. Caucus, a coin of their interest, whether a political interest, economic interest, whatever interest. A division down. Division one, pay. Too long division down, our interest, remember, economic interest. So, Ngachiwo Caucus, your bell, social platform down. What 20 number? Pio Loy, where a coin. I know which around to you. Oh, my watching, who low name. I think it's community you. The one we intervene. Later, who could in quite quick. A ruling. End of the year party, to Louis Guyen, a charity lawyer one there. One there, community guy, which all of it. Louis July 30th, Louis 9 July, to our community. Meru degu piwoja awan melwelgu kena bu wari wo chiwo jo abe jewe kuchamu gaba wo ko chol this time ko wo bele how do you build yourself baro yudi so the today team attack team looking for opportunities ko chiwo chol awo jam issues to do with investment, digitalization, businesses, movement. Can wo liu wo che forum be kan community e forum member de kidam for so I ko ju chol we believe ko be jam le jemu forum e ka bu kalo twin so our yene ko kasne anh chỉ với ba năm tuổi cố khởi là chỉ có chuyện cái lôi and I went to thank the members với lui na chi idara dulu chi wale ke in chi lui are so we chặt le are and I want to give example wo lui lakini ade ko lui are coi vấn để cái lôi cái cả đi trên đầu thuyền cái để ô thuyền rằng chỉ sai một quê em bên bà cố gắng chỉ lui ở đây chỉ cố gắng chỉ đón trên chỉ chuột thuyền ở phía chân chỉ lui ở đây rằng chỉ cho con nụ may rằng chỉ bầu gió rằng chỉ vô nụ among others. When we were there, luckily we have to recognize that when they write to a man. Again, where a big Louis, a K is fake, but they are done to do more. Where I tell, K advice, we members, Kula Kula, Kurade Gudun, Louis, Charan, Chol, K example. Let us be here. Chiran Dev. Chiran lew right kuri ugu ko ke invite bugu pengen kelwel ge le do wonu am jaw ni la ji
ayo ma ka yu ko le yi ga ken akwe akai le yo lo ku ala ko ja ben ko wa jam ke di ko ke yo ko ne ke na wo ben ki wa ko ko la tianga da yo ko ke no ran wa jam challenges and tips of sustainable business ran to ben jam on that team no ran be jam doing business in South Sudan, formation and the role of cooperative societies in economic empowerment. A team, another topic very much jam. Obijam, the role of youth in nation building. Though majority of Toy what you very youth, Jamadia. Institutional building and the role of parastatals. I think you will be able to Akuma Chok, Kirina Kadima. Quran Wajam Entrepreneurship in a digital world, digital security and digital migration. Business along telephony worker. Quran Wajam personal growth and faith in personal development. One on May, one on me for Jordan. Nationalism and building social cohesion. Nationalism is passion. I better what jam here that thing. Cái ai có cái jam đó. Cái gặp cái luyện. Nào anh tin á. Anh ông cái tin commercial break cả bà gam. Alex of digital. Please. Alex. I will bet what digital you will call below by Louis business they want a year. Very short. 2 minutes. Okay. Thank you. And you guys charge too much, so if you go further, we will charge you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. MC and the other MCs that have taken us through the couple of minutes we've gone through. Obviously, I'd like to recognize the various honorables that are here, the eminent generals, and all the esteemed members that constitute this caucus. Thank you so much for coming. I'm privileged to stand before you to say a few things on behalf of Digital. My colleague and boss, my colleague and boss, Chan Moses Atiye, will be coming and joining us very shortly. He's on his way here, and possibly he will have an opportunity to interact with you as well. My name is Alex Wekoe. I'm a commercial consultant, currently as Chief Commercial Officer, trying to put together a digital that you have seen. First, I want to thank you as members of the caucus, because I think we have associated with this caucus for now 2 years. And I've learned that most of you are supporting us already, because you're already on the network, you're already on digital network. Well, I would like to thank you for that. I just wanted to quickly give you an update as part of the caucus. When we first associated ourselves with the caucus, we had just launched. I think we're a couple of months into the market. And I remember we made a request for you to join us. You didn't hesitate. You joined us quite quickly, and you generated us a lot of traffic and given us feedback in terms of how we are serving. To date, I want to confirm to you that as Digital, we have managed to connect Juba quite deeply. We continue to ensure that all the coverage gaps are covered. We are sinking more towers and coverage, infrastructure like fiber into different parts of Juba. But most importantly, this month, we're sort of giving Christmas come early. Yesterday we opened our shop in Bor. So, for example, you can be sure that the digital signal is in most parts of where you people come from or where your relatives are. Today also, we opened our shop in Nimule, which is the economic entry point into the country. Next week, we'll be opening our shop, customer service center in Wow. As you may know, we're already in Malka, which is main city in Upper Nile. So we're trying to ensure that we give coverage to our people, to be in position to do the things that you people as Caucus are doing. Number one, charity. Number two, entrepreneurship. So that is a bit that we're doing, and we will continue to do that. I just want to say that what I encourage today is to ask members or request members to put forward any questions or any clarifications that you may want to seek from Digital in terms of how we can pattern, because we would like to be associate members with your organization. I know you already have your individual membership, but I'm sure there is a gap for associate membership. We would like to be associate members to this gallant organization, so that together we can do a lot of these things, both charity and entrepreneurship for the Shababs. Thank you so much, because I was given only 2 minutes. But at any other point, if there is chance for me to expound or explain on anything, I'm just around the corner. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for Digital. And I thought at the end of your speech you will say, I give 5 minutes, 5 minutes or 5,000 to each member that came here.
That's a good one. That's my cup of tea. Yeah. So I think you and I will quickly have to work together because we have got some good GBs. You know, these days we don't talk in terms of MBs. We talk in terms of GBs. Today is a weekend, so we have got weekend bundles. But even then, Monday we have rumor bundles. We have monthly bundles. So we'll have 10 GBs for 5 people, but we have to agree on the criteria with you.
Thank you so much. Yes, now you are talking. But we might have not got the chance to say thank you, but sometimes back, Digital gave all members of Caucus 5,000 SSP each in our SIM cards, and we want to appreciate you today for that. Thank you so much. At this moment, we are calling Mr. Konwadur Kwat, the Director of External Trade, the Ministry of Trade and Industry. He will talk to us about doing business in South Sudan, formation and the role of cooperative societies in economic empowerment. You are welcome.
Thank you, Madam. Honorable Bonmiyanju, Monana Dentia, General Manuel, and all distinguished and invited guests, good evening. My name is Mr. Kwat. First, I want to take this opportunity to thank the organizers of the Caucus for inviting me today to celebrate the end of the year party. I think today is not just about celebration, bringing people together, enjoy it and go, but it's also a stock-taking, evaluation. What did Caucus as a forum achieve in the past 3 years? Because I understand they have been in existence for 3 years. What have they achieved? It is also an opportunity today for them to evaluate and put plan forward. What is it that Caucus will want to do 2023? And I think my topic today is to talk to Caucus about doing business in South Sudan. You know, when people hear about doing business, they will start scratching their heads. Because people begin to think in terms of capital. You cannot start a business without resources. But I think South Sudan has a lot of business opportunities, especially for small medium enterprises. Our regulatory environment are very conducive, and I believe most of you can testify. If you walk around Juba, you see a lot of small medium enterprises. But somebody will say, business are dominated by non-South Sudanese, are dominated by foreigners. You know, business are like, business opportunities are like buses. You may be waiting at the station thinking that this bus is full, so there's another bus, but there is always another bus coming. So business opportunities are always there, they don't get finished. For my encouragement to members of the Caucus is to engage in self-help projects. And I believe my brother Simon Akweyi has already mentioned the establishment of the cooperative societies. Some of us, I think some of you might have been to Kenya or Uganda. You have seen a lot of circles, especially transportation of business services. Those are just one sectors of the cooperative societies. There are different types of cooperative societies. Why cooperative societies? First, cooperatives are simple and easy to establish. They are not like companies, because companies need a lot of resources. But the capital for starting a cooperative society are generated from the members. Generated by contributing the little you have, put it together, decide on the type of cooperative that you want. And the beauty of the cooperatives is that the rules that are applied to companies are less applied to cooperative, because the government has a lot of support for the establishment of cooperatives, because they create jobs for the youth, they create employment for the youth. And in terms of taxes, they are least tax. You don't pay a lot of issues to do like income tax, property tax, because they are self-help projects. So cooperatives are not only for the rich, but everyone, anybody, a group of people who have organized themselves can establish a cooperatives. Cooperatives also can benefit from loan because there are a lot of developmental institutions that support cooperatives. For example, the Cooperative Bank of South Sudan is one of the institutions that support cooperatives. And I think not only members of the caucus, but each and everyone invited today, it is an opportunity for every organized group to think in terms of establishing cooperatives. You know, one thing I like about Caucus Forum, it's a very unique organization in terms of diversity, because if you look at the composition in terms of professional careers, among them are lawyers, there are engineers, there are entrepreneurs like Mr. Simon, and I believe an organized group like that is a role model that can be adopted, that can be emulated by anybody else, whether in South Sudan or beyond South Sudan. Because we have seen what our community associations are doing. They are not that bad, but sometimes are toxic. And I think it is time now to begin to move to professional association, professional organization that promote economic empowerment, that promote social empowerment of its members. And I thank members of the caucus for being the role model, for taking initiative, for being an example. And I believe with your example, you can attract many people to the caucus to become members of the caucus. But you can attract people by making it attractive in terms of establishing businesses that can also create jobs for others. One thing also about the cooperatives, you know, when you put money together, you don't run it yourself. It gives you time to do other things. But you appoint board of directors, the managing committee, which is also job creations for youth, for other people. So you are helping yourself, but you are also helping others. And this is the beauty why cooperatives are actually very important. Members also benefit from the revenue generated from cooperative. And I can give you an example. I think some of you, they know what is Eden. There is Eden Supermarket. Eden was established by a group of people like Caucus Forum. And you have seen now they established what is called Eden Commercial Bank. So cooperative start small. Any business idea start small and then it grow gradually until it become big things. With the mission and vision of the caucus in creating opportunities, promoting the empowerment of members, and helping reaching out to other members of the community, I think it is the best thing, and I think it is what each and every one of us has to borrow, and each and every one of us has to take back and think about it. But I don't want to take too much time because there are other members who have been invited also to give you one or two. But up to this, I think I will thank you, and I appreciate it, and I look forward. By next year, I want to see at least 2 or 3 cooperatives established by the members of the Caucus Forum. That
is my Thank you so much, my brother, Howard. This is what we were looking for, and I thought you would advise our South Sudanese. You know, at most, we open companies with the foreigners. I'm sorry, I don't mean any foreigner in the middle, but we open companies with the foreigners. We take 31% as a name, then we let them enjoy our rights. We never ask anything. If they are given some, I don't know how to put it, but then if there are some of taxes that are taken out of them, it's because of that 31% that you are given to that foreigner. So let's be very, very careful when we do join businesses with foreigners. At this juncture, I'm here to call one of the speakers, that is coming to talk to us about challenges and tips of sustainable business development. And guess what? She's a lady. And I mean it. Let's clap for her. You know, when we were suggesting the names of the speakers and I said her name, they were like, but who is she? I said she's a brain. Then somebody was like, a brain? I said, yes, a brain. This lady here, she is from, she's the MD of Davis Machineries Group, John Deere branch. She's one in the industry. She's the only woman in that industry because she works with heavy machines. You know, when we look at big cars, we think they are for men, but the smaller ones are ours. But this one made it different. This lady is the award winner, Excellence Award winner of the Entrepreneurs. She just got it yesterday. Let's put our hands together to welcome Elizabeth Akwon Lawrence.
Thank you so much, Molana Tong. I'm honored to be here. First of all, I would like to apologize for being late because I work on Saturdays as half day. So, Caucus team forum, congratulations for the NDA party. I know it's not an easy to accomplish the year. Regardless of all the challenges that we face as a business entities group, I want to say let's clap for ourselves and for Caucus team for this. David Machinery Group is a South Sudanese local company that is based here in Juba. We deal in selling agricultural machineries, John Deere tractors, and all other farm accessories. So as I stand here, I start representing the entire David Machinery Group team, and as the CEO and the MD, this is who I am. Yesterday, it was a very good moment for me, a pleasure to be awarded by Chamber of Quality. I'm in Chamber Awards yesterday, and I was the best entrepreneur of the year, and I'm so proud of that. And to all of you women, I know it has not been easy for an entrepreneur or any business person doing business in South Sudan. And I want to say that, let me apologize, because I haven't recognized the old protocol. I'm seeing my customer, Honorable Col Manyal is around, and all the protocol is observed. I'm honored to stand in front of you. My apologies for not starting with you all. In South Sudan, I know we have a lot of issues when coming to our policies being in place when we're doing business. You know, our policies change regularly without any notice to all the business people. When we come to things like custom duty and taxes, we know sometimes we complain a lot. We have been seeing City Council bugging us a lot in our offices. With a lot of today is service thing, tomorrow is town rate, the next day is change of purpose. Probably they might be doing for our own good, but I'm sure one way or the other, it is not organized for us to be able to see how to get about that. We have a lot of issues to do with financial accessibility with the banks. I know there's a lot of things we've been discussing in the forums that I've been doing here. Most of the local businesses don't easily get loans from the commercial banks. And some of the reasons we are discussing is that we have realized our business people, maybe they don't have maybe they don't open bank accounts, they don't have most of the cash flows. And we have learned from the forums that we've been discussing that it's high time if you're having a business or if you're doing a business, you learn to monitor your cash flows, you learn how to monitor your incomes and all this so that you can be able to get access from the loans. I know it's a big challenge. Number two is insecurity, especially for women who are doing business. Women face harassment when they're doing businesses. I know especially the small business women on the roadside. And I know that we have lobbied a lot, we have had a lot of cooperatives that are coming up right now trying to be the voices of the women. So we've had NGOs that are trying to talk about it. But we really wish that as the government's year is closing and the next is coming, we see a way whereby women are protected and small business are protected from things like the customs and other harassment that are happening in the market. Not to take much time, it's good when we meet as this kind of networking forum. I wanted to talk about some of the few things about how to sustain your business, tips of business sustainability. I know one is you need to connect with the needs. We need to identify the need of the business or need of doing that purpose. When you do your research and you've identified the needs, as an entrepreneur, make your business line along that so that there is a purpose and you continue to business to continue being viable. Number 2, create a social trust with the community around you. Make efforts to gain society trust, especially for your customers, for your business to thrive. By saying so, contribute positively to the community by doing your corporate responsibility if you're a big business. And if you're a small business, I will also encourage you to do a clean business, providing the genuine items which are not poisonous or maybe friendly and consumable to the community around you. Number 2, another tip for sustaining your business is do research. It doesn't mean if your business is already set up, it ends from there. In these current developing countries, there are so many strategies that are coming up every day of how we can promote the businesses. You know, for example, in the old days, if we used to talk about advertising your business on newspaper, in the current world where we are, newspaper is becoming all modern. There are a lot of things that are happening. The social media, like Facebook, like the WhatsApp, the Instagram, the TikTok, and so many things to come. You can create a page, a business page group, and you can market your business along that line. Not the least is be accountable and constantly improve, as simply stated. You need to be accountable on all your finances so that you can continue being viable in the business and for business to sustain longer. Number 3, last but not the least is embrace competitions. Competitors give us ideas. It makes you to be on your toes and it makes you always be creative and be innovative and have new ideas. I think that's the few I will share with you for today. I know there's so many guest speakers and I will not want to drag the long to the stage be all mine. I want to say, Caucus team, congratulations, and I believe that next year there are so many forums that will come up to encourage the business community. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. I'm sure so many of us were taking pens and noting down. Okay. Just a few announcements. We're sorry we should have said this at the beginning. We have toilets. If nature calls you, you can go this side. There is female and male outside. And then there are other toilets here. So there is also another occasion up. So if you are hearing a lot of noise, we are in a hotel, so we could not dictate. The noise is coming from there. Okay, that is one already. So just to repeat that, we just a small announcement. Another. Where is Adia? Okay. Adia, where's your banner? He's a designer, by the way. He does African wares. You can see what he's wearing. He also does female. So if you feel like you want him to take your measurements, he's okay to do that. And he has come with his designer. And it is Christmas, few days to Christmas. So if you feel like giving out a gift to anyone, you are welcome, to all ladies and gents. The place is called Get Smart Fashions. Your perfect fit, that is their slogan. And it is located around on the main road of Konyokonya. You can see their contacts there. But again, if you want him to take your measurements or anything, you can just call him. He will be sitting there, and he has his designer here. Thank you so much, Alia. Before we go for the break, remember I had grabbed some bundles for you earlier from digital, but they said it cannot go for free. So here there are a few questions, very easy ones. The first one says, best internet company in South Sudan. Digital. She said digital.
It's digital, Rumba and Weekend and everything.
No, No, she's disqualified. No, you are disqualified. Okay. All of you say digital? So you can be bribed like this? I know there are other ones, but you don't want to say it because digital is here. I hope you are noting. So we take her? Okay. Another thing is, any internet bundles? Name any internet bundles. That is, of course, with the Rumba night. He said Rumba night. Huh? Rumba Sukun is the same Rumba, I guess. From 1 up to 3, those who do not sleep at night. How do we even know that there is Rumba from 1 to 3? Okay. Another one? Is wrong? Zol Kabir. No, he said no. He said Zol Kabir Jamatoman. Okay, I throw another question. Where's the mic? Can you move around with the mic? But she's sitting with you on the table. How will you ask that? Okay. The other question is, how do you subscribe to digital internet? How do you subscribe to digital internet?
Yes. 5 hash. Okay, he said star 135 hash. There is a star 200 hash.
Okay. I think everybody clapped that. That is an answer already. How long has digital been operating in South Sudan? Okay. Give it to me. Okay.
1 year and 5 months. July 2021.
Okay, you also clapped. Okay, the last question is, what is the slogan for digital? There's nothing for free. They refuse to give us for free. So you have to answer questions. What is the slogan for digital?
Let me move behind.
The slogan is bridging the divide.
Huh?
Bridging the divide.
Yes, that's it.
Truly Junubian. That's it? Okay, thank you so much. Whoever won some few minutes or maybe bundles, you don't, that guy on yellow, don't let him go with your minutes. At this point, we want to have a small break of just dancing for a minute. Digital, the CEO of Digital, that is in our midst. Thank you so much, you have been doing well, but don't change your mind later. We also want to recognize the presence of Napoleon Odo, Director General of National Communication Authority, that is here in the middle. And let's go for a small break. Is it Arizona?
At this juncture, I would want to call upon another speaker. He has to wait. He has to wait now. Yes, we have to go as per our program. When we call, then you wait. This is Caucus Professional. Thank you. We have to call upon our sister. Young as she is, honorable in the parliament, knows what is the youth is doing. Quite a young man in the parliament, but the agri parliament, so where man can anymore. Honorable young Pilar, kindly, but you come and address this gathering on the role of youth in national building. Thank you. Welcome.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Yar Tinari, a South Sudanese lady who's very passionate about this country. I'm meant to speak on the role of the youth in nation building. However, I think I'll take a different angle and speak about generally South Sudan as it is now. As a young person, at times, I got to learn this year, that we tend to rush and think that we have the solutions. At times, you know, with everything happening, we tend to think we need the older generation to leave. But then reality hit me and I realized that the most that we need to do is equip ourselves. Equip ourselves, number one, with knowledge. Apart from equipping ourselves with knowledge, I like saying this so many times, as young people, we actually cannot make it in politics without finances. So how do we come together as young people to grow ourselves financially? Once we grow ourselves financially, then psychophancy is ruled out. Apart from psychophancy being ruled out, we're not going to be yes people. So as I think about the role of the young people in nation building, I think for me these are the two major things that I'd like to concentrate on. You know, we are told that we are the leaders of tomorrow. It's true, yes, we are the leaders of tomorrow, but as we wait for that tomorrow that might never come, what are we doing now? How are we getting together as young people? How are we holding each other's hands as young people? You know, it's one of the things that I realize with young people. Whenever one other young person is coming up, it's the same young people who try and pull him or her down. If we don't stop pulling people down, then I'm sure we can move forward. So for the young people who are sitting here, I'd like you to be your brothers and sisters keepers. I'd like you to make sure that if there is one of your siblings or one of your brothers and sisters who's here and needs a lending hand, kindly do help them. As we head to the festive season now, number one, many people will be traveling and many people will just go back to their homes. And as we all do that, what will you do for your nation? What will you do for South Sudan in your own little way? You know, I like saying at times we're told that the liberation struggle, that when they started when they were very young, which is true. But then as we are young, what impact are we making? Are we just wasting our time drinking, partying, and not thinking about tomorrow? When most of the people joined the liberation struggle, they were just as young as we are. John Garang, my father, there's Honorable Paul Manyang here. They were all very young. They didn't waste their time doing most of what we're doing. I'm sure the festive season is coming and all we'll be doing is partying and drinking, some of us included. But as we do all of that, what is the impact that we'd like to leave? What is the change that we would like to leave? And also to the older generation, let me move this side as I look at some of you who are seated on that side. As much as we would like to listen to you at times, we also want you to listen to us. Sometimes you do not want to listen to us. We might be younger than you are, but at least there's something small we can share with you. That we can tell you, I think what you're doing should be done in this other way. So if you listen to us and we listen to you, we can definitely build this nation. I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you so much, Honorable Mayor. We appreciate you for the nice words. By the way, we want to recognize one of our members of Caucus, who also won an award yesterday, Award of Excellence, and for the CEO of the year, and that is none other than Athiei Chan. Where is you? What is Athiei Chan? He's not here? Okay, he's a member of this group, and we are very proud of him. And thank you so much for doing your best. This is... we also want to recognize in our midst here the presence of the chairperson of RJMEC, who has just... And for those who do not know Atiye, he's the one behind the lady with the orange jacket. That is Atiye, who won an award yesterday. Thank you so much. We're so proud of you. And here we have this while I'm finishing this announcement, we will be calling Arizona JJ. So get prepared. We have this these T-shirts. They'll be outside there with a cap. And guess what? They have the signature of the late Dr. John Garang, Himabur. So if you feel like buying one later on, they are displayed outside there together with a cap. And for now, it's your turn to entertain us, Arizona JJ. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think Auntie Ben to pay because Kalwell ke kujia lo raja kuiman bagalo to pada bagatem jam bagalo to. So thank you. Kiri jeben orodian rantok pandagare tu akur kande babian ke jamrai de jeng de nyui bai kujuwa alwel cukur myoy nawel kaji te kunyi kangaran cerotwe penyenga bewe nyana ngutu tu kedunun cewere rangi kanga kapuan di aljur karai gadoria yega loy kien kaya pace anjuwa durian di dia bacanye Nitim kuring ko kaci kagare kitapi Kualui kugawar kutadole Pion durut Undan kabure Kamu boga makolen Pion kunang bir kabay Enkirot wedi jode magwiti Kakena gugaliw Enkirot kanwar kubajal Rangya ko Witi kaya pingit Irabay Ngumbuan kiramati Pahalwela yaben niroti DJ
at our midst. On the arrival of our deputy governor, we did say deputy governor of Jonglei has come, but we didn't officially recognize him. Honorable Akenyedengdi, you are highly welcome to stay at the meeting of your brothers and sisters and of your fathers as you are sitting there in the middle. Please feel at home.
Because I wasn't sure the format this caucus was taking. When I got the message from Honorable Akwe, I wasn't sure exactly what caucus was all about. He did try his best to explain to me in a brief way what I should expect. And I want to say, Ambassador Akwe, first of all, thank you very much. Without having come late, from the look of things, this is what I expected, and I am very delighted and honored to be here. Thank you for those who gave me this opportunity. Now, as someone who is supposed to be the head of technology in the country, it's very hard to single out a specific issue that I should bring to your attention as emerging entrepreneurs and people with a concept that want to grow a new image of our country. Many of our people, you are all aware, have been having such gathering only in a misery way, either in funeral or in dispute of community. It's exceptionally very rare for us to have professional gathering of our country, and when I see this, I am elevated, I'm very excited. So, the few minutes I did down here, I divided my speech into the written one and the one that you actually deserve. As a country, we need to understand that we are operating in a global village that is highly competitive. Technology is now a driving force behind many countries in enabling efficient delivery of services to the citizen. South Sudan has to find its locus within this competitive technological space. One way of accelerating this advancement is through entrepreneurship. The digital world has opened up space for the youth to innovate and find solutions that can solve or improve our way of life as people of South Sudan. To achieve this, however, we need an enabling infrastructure to aid the youth to innovate and incubate ideas for promoting entrepreneurs. Resources such as cheap and reliable connectivity for the citizen to enhance research and collaboration efforts in building these solutions. To give entrepreneurs space to test products or services before going to the market. This enables them to refine what they are offering and avoid the folly of many companies that die at the infancy due to poor perception of technology. When I finish reading this, you will understand why I had to come up with a new way, what I should share with you. I found out this is a place where we are sharing ideas, how to improve what we are doing best. Capacity building for our entrepreneurs. Most entrepreneurs focus on the technological aspect and either need to remember or more knowledgeable about how the products or services move into business. How this business run is another case. At NCA, where I sit, we are keen on creating a conducive environment for entrepreneurs to adopt technologies as critical driver to their business. NCA held a last town hall, I think about a week ago, where we just wanted to bring various stakeholders together. These meetings are meant to provide platform to share ideas, provide space for positive criticism, and also allow our entrepreneurs to display their solution. Forums like this are meant to elevate the conversation. And I think when I walk in here, I felt it was an extension of that. Because I believe your forum is basically to bring conversations on how to improve, share experience. As NCA, it is in our plan to also create a digital hub for entrepreneurs within the digital space to enable them to learn and take their products or services through complete development life cycles and in readiness for the new market emerging in South Sudan. There was a question about digital security. As much as we embrace technology as a driving force for entrepreneurs of the emerging 21st century, the bedrock of its success lies on how we understand and apply the cybersecurity concept. As a society, we are living most of our life digitally. Most of you are holding phone here, speaking and sending. The phone has become part of your life. Be it on a personal or professional level, we are all residing online. Given the convenience of digital technologies due to increased reliance on the internet, we are also vulnerable to the risks that come along with the increased use of technology. When we talk of digital security, we are talking about the safety of your data, your identity online, and other assets, including your business. Many of you have written excellent business proposals, but you run the risk that they are not integrity because they can be taken by others and exploited. These risks range from personal identification, personal payment data, personal health information. As your doctor shared with you your last medical results, you definitely receive it by email or your WhatsApp. Thus, the process used to protect you online is what we call digital security. To safeguard one online identity, there are many tools that can be deployed. Many of them are cheap, even for those who are starting up projects. You can start with a simple thing as antivirus on your phone or your computer. Smart devices such as firewalls within internet network to prevent malicious actors from gaining access to your devices or your information as you develop your business plan. Not only do we look at solutions to curb this, but awareness is key in driving digital security. Your first defense is to be aware. How safe are you? What are your vulnerabilities? We do hear quite people that I have nothing to lose. In the world of information, you are a commodity. Traded, exchanged, auctioned off by others without you knowing. Every photo you have sent, add a click of money to somebody else. Every picture of your family is a commodity. Only that it has been monetized far away from you and without your consent. Our people need to be educated on the importance of safeguarding personal data from malicious actors and train IT staff or information for help them to prevent their vulnerability. I am glad to inform the Caucus that as NCA, we are at the forefront of creating awareness about security, securing your data under our cybersecurity forum that we conduct annually. So we invite you please to pay attention. Even if you are a long-time user of technology. Digital migrations is a term to describe the transfer from analog methods of doing things to digital way. It has been associated currently in our region with the television system. Currently, South Sudan is behind digital migration because we correctly understand that we have nothing to migrate from. Without a legacy, so SSBC is what the Sudan left with us. It will only transmit within the parameters of Juba. So what we need is a digital creation. Suppose you look at the above benefits of the digital migration, which among them is a good quality of televisions and a better local content like this music. Actually, my first time to see the guy who was singing earlier, I have been enjoying his music as my gym exercise. To conclude, I would like to express my gratitude to this caucus for organizing this end of the year event, Gumkurat. It is a forum like this that are pushing positive narrative for our nation. We all understand the background we have come from and the need to work hard extra to get us on par with other developing countries. I have adopted these themes in my effort to bring South Sudan to be at the same level with the rest of the world. The idea that we are young is a myth promoted by those trying to exploit us. Digitally, we are ahead. And I believe professionally, we are not young. Many of you here come with a wealth of experience. All you need is a platform for you to access that. Now, I think I stop here as a DG of NC and would like to speak as a Napoleon, an aspiring member of Caucus. First of all, I would like to apologize that I did not participate in choosing the word for digital earlier when it was said, because as a referee, I refrained from participating. What I wanted to say, the world is changing. The world is changing, and for us, it has changed already. Many entrepreneurs that we have seen emerging in South Sudan, and somebody earlier mentioned the idea of having that we are relying only on foreign companies and we are given 30%. I echo that message because I have been asking people, when you are given 30%, do you know the 100%? People are being given 31% as South Sudanese, and they walk home very comfortably. And by the way, thanks to Senator report, I am supposed to be a banker by now. So, does anybody know those values? They have a meaning in other countries. So those who come and see our companies registered with all those percentage, economies among us will tell us that there's supposed to be a value. A company in this country that should value. You cannot have percentage of a company, but you don't know the total value. What does the company worth? People have been given 5%, 2%, and they go home very happy that I have 5% of Bongo Bus. But what is the total of Bongo Bus? That is a scam. And a scam that we are concerned with. We must object. The next time somebody gives you percentage, I think the first question you should ask is that what is the value of that company? Because 31% of $1,000 and 31% of $1 million are totally different things. On the matters of cybercrime, you must have heard the famous issue about Silicon Valley. I should not talk about it. What you need to know about this company is the fact that us as a new state in the region, we are the only black spot where all crime that has been eradicated are being reenacted. Simply because we are not cyber security aware. We need to be cyber alert. There is no way in the world somebody goes and show you a screen with the digits and you believe it. I had described it in the last event that our country is being exploited. And those people who really wanted to invest, the victims deserve our appreciation because they are willing to invest. Only that the investment vehicle using digital crookery have cheated them. And the only way we can safeguard our public is to create awareness. And what I want to say here is part of that. In technology, we convert digital money, which is a myth. The airtime on your phone is money, but it is abstract. It has to be backed up by a liquid somewhere. So if anybody comes to you and say that I am transferring you $50,000, the first question you should ask, where is that physical $50,000 located? You cannot celebrate numbers on your screen. At the same time that when your airtime you put on your phone, you have actually paid money. So when somebody comes to you and say, I have something called digital Silicon Valley, I actually call it Silicon Man. Because these are called social engineering. It's a crime in cybersecurity known as social engineering. They exploit your human instinct. Two things have happened. First of all, we all know about Silicon is the famous American street in California where many technologies are being founded. So the moment you hear about Silicon, you are associating with that. And that is what want many of you to believe that it is true because it is Silicon. The third part is that an application was developed with the back end in another country, a platform. Just like the way WhatsApp you have, WhatsApp does not sit in Juba, it sits in America, it's a server machine. So you send me a message, they receive a copy, they send me a copy, and it remains with them. So a similar technology was used, somebody developed an application and cheated you people that you can register and you will see your account, you will have an account. And they kept you entertained, so it is a Ponzi scheme, digital Ponzi scheme. That is how our people suffer. But how do we prevent a future Silicon Valley? I don't want to say that all digital things are criminals. No. In fact, it is the direction where we will be going. And it is important for you to understand, for those aspiring entrepreneurs, to must understand, to distinguish between those who are cheating us and those who really truly want to help us. The application world is basically a digitization of a manual process. So you people as Caucus body can come up with a specific application to control membership where people can follow our program. It can be developed as an app. Many of young people are here in the street, they can do it for you. And you can see your membership, you can see event coming up, opportunities as an application. And such applications are hosted online. It is the direction. I'm sure if you take that direction, you will first of all improve participation, you will enhance connectivity among yourself, not only waiting for December to gather here. Now, my role as a regulator is to regulate these applications. In the absence of legal framework, it is very hard for us now to say anybody developing applications in South Sudan must seek license. For us to issue license, we have to have a digital infrastructure in place so that those applications are hosted at home. When you go to Nairobi, you use Uber, many of you are Bolt. So those applications are run inside Kenya. That's why you are able to pay in shilling, because they are hosted locally. So the regulator can see the data, can validate that it is true, that this application is running around in the country and it is serving the purpose it is designed for. So the integrity of application is checked. Your information is also protected. I've said the same thing about many COVID centers that were done, and many of us went to do tests, left our passport with our age of birth, with the date of birth, and a lot of personal information, our flight details. Now COVID is over. Your data is sitting somewhere in Kwanya with someone. That's a great risk. The detail you give include your passport, which is valid. Without a legal framework to protect you, that person can go and sell your information to someone who may monetize it. And with the data becoming the new gold and oil, you can see where we are going to be as a country. Now, as you embark in your effort to create an identity of business, community, professional engagement, there is a need for you to add the aspect of protecting yourself, personally and of course professionally. Without intellectual property law in our country, many of our young people ideas are being jeopardized. Whether they are proposals, concept, business ideas, you run to a foreigner and you disappear with it, and the next thing you see is identical what you thought was your concept. In other countries, those intellectual properties are protected by law. You can register patents. With the Honorable Kwal Manyang among us and other lawmakers, including my colleague, the Deputy Governor of Jonglei State, I would like to appeal to them that to pay attention how to protect their citizens by including intellectual property protections, by discussing it even at the state level, so that I can register a patent. Like we had a young boy who developed an application known as Nile Border. It is an application which allowed them to order online the border with the telephone, pay them with the Gurush. But now he's vulnerable. Somebody can go in East Africa and do the same thing without any royalties to this guy. And that's a waste. And I believe there are many of our young people who will do that, and particularly in the business sector. I will stop here. And once again, I would like to really express my appreciation for the organizers and for those who decided to give me an opportunity to share with you. And I would like to apply for membership so that I can at least participate and listen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DG. What do you give Anyway, by the way, DG is also doing a very wonderful undertaking. He collect all the young boys, as he said, and he supported them to develop applications. DG is only here in Juba. We like it, but please take it to other capitals. There are very bright heads there. Thank you very much. We want now to be especially fair, because as much as we think we know some, we are sometimes worried on how do we develop and take up our young ones, being brothers, being your own sons and your daughters. And with this, that's why we invited Right Reverend Dr. Isaiah to come and talk to us on these issues, on how to especially grow and take care of ourselves. Randy.
Let's pray together, shall we? Thank you, Lord, for this day. Thank you for the opportunity to share your word with your people. And as we talk about the role of faith in our development, I do want to ask for your wisdom and for your guidance. I ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you, Caucus, for inviting me, I think for the second time. Because the time is limited, I will just recognize old protocol by saying brothers and sisters. That will include everybody with all your positions and with all your influences. I read two passages of the scripture on growth. One is taken from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 2, and the last verse, verse 52. And Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. And then if you go to 1 Corinthians 14 and verse 20. 1 Corinthians 14 and verse number 20. Brothers and sisters, stop thinking like children in regard to evil, be infants, but in your thinking be adults. When we talk about growth, we are talking about different areas of our lives, including family. And I was just doing a wedding this afternoon before I came here, and I noticed very carefully that in the course of following our careers and professions, we have neglected the family. We have placed the family on the altar of success. We have sacrificed a family on the altar of success. But I want to bring to your attention that we can change that. We can change that by growing up. Because it is possible to grow old without growing up. You can grow old without growing up, because those are two different things. Growing up means you are maturing. Growing old is another thing altogether. But also equally, it is possible to be educated and not be learned. You can go to university, when you come back the same thing, like, for example, if a donkey could go, you will come back with the same ears from the university. So what areas should we grow in that passage that I have read? The passages, I mean the areas of our lives that we need to grow to maturity. Number one, we have to grow up spiritually. You are not just a machine. You are a human being. You are a spiritual being living in a physical body. And many times when the spiritual part of us suffers, it will affect these other areas of our lives. Maybe not here, but I know people who go to church only once a year. Only once a year to go and renew their license, their spiritual licenses. Or if you like the logbooks, spiritual logbooks once a year. And no wonder we have a lot of stress. No wonder we have a lot of high blood pressure, because our lives are not regulated by our spiritual being. But secondly, we can also grow intellectually. We can use our minds. We just been talking about digital development, or if you like, IT. Do you engage your mind, or you finish engaging intellectually when you graduated from university? Do you wrestle with issues? Do you think? And do you think comprehensively? You have to grow in that area. The third area of growth is called physical growth, which is very common. You have grown, you were short, small, but also you can grow by size. This way, that way, and do not expand your borders. We can also grow relationally. And this is where the family is coming in. I've been married now. There are many people here, my elders, who are married for more than 40 years. Mine is just 35 years. 35 years with someone who has 40 or 45 is not a time, but also it is a big one for someone who has not started. And marriage and family, think like this way. If you have a strong family, we will have a strong nation. Strong nation, because nations are made of families. But if you have a weak family, it goes across the board. It can even be a weak church, a weak nation, and weak individuals. But family cannot stand without a strong marriage. Marriage in this case, man and wife. Not the other marriages that we hear. That a woman with a woman and a man with a man. That's not what I'm talking about. It has not yet come here. But marriage is not easy. If some of us were given an opportunity to choose again, to choose a wife again, maybe we will not go back to the same person. We will even think that praise God for that. I now have to look for a new one. But only to discover that they are the same. If they are men, they are the same. If they are women, they are the same. So it will take hard work to build a family. Like now, as I speak to you, we have many of our children on the streets. You call them by different names. Some are called Toronto. I don't know what brought Toronto here, all the way from Canada. Where I live in Sherka, they are called Crew. Actually, the other day, they attacked my neighbor. They came in at 8. They took a motorcycle and shot people. They are our children. If the family is not strong, we will not produce strong children. And many will be called street children. And yet you are a professional. You are professional. You have money. You are happy. But then your family is not with you. It is an area in which we need to work and work very hard so we can grow relationally. But for your case, we can also grow economically. And I'm thankful for the speakers who were here earlier because they expound on that, how you can grow economically. And let me just outline to you some of the things that I have in mind. Instead of being employed, why don't you think about being an employer? Think about being an employer. Invest in land and in housing. I am surprised when I see people, you are driving a very big vehicle, but you have no home. I don't want to sound abusive, but I agree with that song that say, you have a BA, but you are Gondosaki. Because if it is BA or Mercedes, nobody sleeps in BA. You have, at the end of the day, you need to live in a Rakuba somewhere. And you have none. I usually tell people, you know, Juba, there are 4 types of people. I don't know which one you fall in. There are people who have papers, but they have no land. They have papers, but no land. Group number 2, those who have land, but they have no papers. Number 3, those people who have no land and have no papers. And the last category, people who do not want to have papers and they don't want to have land. I don't know which one you fall in. I am in category number 2. I have land and I have no papers. The point I'm making is, think strategically. And thinking strategically, talk about first things first in your life. Because that's the family. The family has to have a place to be. Engage in agriculture. Because without food, at the end of the day, as we talk here, although I do not know, but let me prophesy to you that when we finish this party, we will eat. Because the party is not complete without food. No matter how smart you are, if you have not eaten, you will begin to do all sorts of things. Engage also in trade and merchandise. Invest in construction industries. Invest in health facilities and hospitals. Some among you, they are doing that, and I must congratulate you without mentioning your names. Invest in land and river transport. Invest in ICT and communication. Invest in education and scientific research. And what I work in is what I'm going to say, engage in peace building and community development. Finally, engage God or involve God in your economic enterprise. How many of you know the story of Caterpillar? I will close with that. How many of you know the story of Caterpillar? We go out here, we will see some of these things. You know this thing with the... Actually, it is a Christian story. It is a Christian story by the name of a man called Robert Gilmore Le Tenu, an American, who started as a sales. But then he heard the gospel and he believed in Christ. And he started to engage in the work of missions, giving from his money. And he came to a point where he made a contract or an agreement with God that I will be giving towards your work if you bless my work. And he started in this very small garage. Today, all over the world, there is Caterpillar. It is the story of Christian faith or of faith in the economy. Please remember this. Whatever you do, involve God, particularly in your area of professionalism. And that is what it means to grow, and to grow spiritually. God bless you. Thank you very much, His Grace, for this wonderful sermon. I will call it a sermon. It is entrepreneurship, the word of God, peace, and our families. Thank you. Let us clap for him again. I take this opportunity to invite His Excellency the Advisor, General Kolmanyang Juba, because he wants to go for another function, and we don't want to interrupt his programs. But I want us to appreciate him for one thing. Dr. Isaiah just told us about agriculture. When he was the governor, he preached agriculture. I will go to farm. And in Juba, he went to the outskirts of Juba somewhere, to the eastern side of Juba, and he started a farm. Some of you might have heard the Kolmanyang, it's popularly known like that. Mushkila? That farm has a lot of things. From Ketkede up to Sogam, Bamia, Simsim, chicken, goats. It is a modern farm. And it is entrepreneurship. So I want to call upon him to come forward, and we clap our hand for that farm. For that we can follow his example. Your Excellency, you're welcome.
Thank you. Please be seated. Well, first of all, I want to express my appreciation as young people. This country belongs to you. And it belongs to you, and I think you will build it. Because what is important is organization. People share ideas. I went to America and I met many of you. Your colleagues were there. I realized that they have no savings. And they are driving the latest cars, model of cars. They bought houses on mortgage. But they don't have savings at all. Sometimes they are laid off, and then they remain looking for work and moving from state to state. I asked them, until when shall you continue moving from state to state? Are you not thinking of going back home? Some, I don't have money. I'll go and I get money. And I started developing a fear. And even coming to blame myself. And those young people and many of you, where you are here is my making. When I call your parents and I said, you come and sit in front of me here, when I was a commander of what was called Central Southern Sudan Zonal Command. And I thought of, I was thinking ahead of time. After 20 years, what is going to happen? Those who are fighting the movement, fighting the war, are dying one by one. And those were the educated people. The people who were conscripted, tactfully, they went and got the arms and they started deserting because they didn't know why they were to fight a national war. And the war was gone. Now those who were not deserting were the educated people. And I forecasted that this movement will one time die a natural death. If the educated people who are already there, if they die, they martyrs in the battle in the front line. Then there will be no people again to move forward with the movement. And the movement would have died, would die a natural death if it is left to educate uneducated people. And I talked to late Dr. John, I said, I want to get these children for education. When they go and study until they finish secondary school, 12 years, plus their own age of 6 or 7 or 8, at least they will be 18 years of age, and and they will have finished secondary school. They will volunteer on their own to join the movement because they will have become national conscious to go on their own, join the movement to go and fight the war for the liberation of their country. And Dr. John agreed with me. I went to your parents, for some of you who were there, who might have been within the group that I mobilized. I told your parents, I'm your head now, I'm your leader. When I come, I sit on the chair and you sit down, listening to me. If it is age, if I am wise, then the wisdom is with the age. Then some of you who are in front of me here would be wiser than myself and would be on the chair on which I am. But simply because you are not educated, this is why I am your chair, I'm your head, I'm your leader. For the soldiers in the front line, there are some who are even brave, much more braver than myself. But they are privates, NCOs, and I'm their commander, simply because I'm educated and they are not educated. So I was telling the soldiers, your children must go to school. Telling the civilians, your children must go to school. So that they become like myself. Among the children who are here, some of them will become like Dr. John, some will become like Bishop Nathaniel. That's exactly what I was saying, within their own area. And if you don't send your children, I'm going to send my children to school. They will be educated and they will become the leaders of your children. Will you be happy? They agreed with me, and I said anybody who will ignore this and who will refuse his children from going to school, I will find that person, the scout. And if you hide your child in the torch, in the soot, in the swamps, when that child grows to become 18 years of age, you will not be able to hide that person again, because you will come out from hiding to go and dance, to go and wrestle, to go and look for girls, to marry. That's time I will even apprehend that person and train him to become a foot soldier. So there's no way you will escape me. You better send your children to go for education. When they go, they will come educated and they will come and take the place I'm in now here. I'm happy that some of you are beneficiaries of that idea. So I was telling your colleagues in America, why the Ethiopians who went to America, the Eritreans, the Indians, the Arabs, who went to America, they made wealth. And some of them have been employing you, they have businesses. Why don't you ask them? Don't you have one person who is a friend to you among them, the Jews? How did you start your business? They will tell you how they started. And then take it also and go and do the same. Here, the Somalis here, they have their own kiosk for selling the airtime. And you are the one who go and buy the airtime from them. Why don't you make, since you are the majority, giving money to this person, can one of you not do the same and then you buy from him? And give yourself business. Can you not raise money, contribute money, and give it to somebody that will make business? And you continue every month collecting money, shares, money you pay, and then you give it to X. Until at the end of the day, all of you will have businesses. You do it. I'm glad the Caucus started in the way Cooperative briefed us before, and it has evolved. It's developing to become something of a business. What a nation is. A nation is a group of people who find themselves in a particular area, they organize themselves and develop system of governance where they govern themselves. Institutions of governance. They set them up and they become a nation. Now, what is nationalism? What is your role in the nation called South Sudan? Our country, we fought, we volunteered. Nationalism is when I feel like belonging to that group of people, that feeling itself is nationalism. We volunteered and joined the movement, knowing very well that the war, the movement means fighting. And fighting means death. But yet we went, because we thought we better fight. If we don't die, then we liberate our people. If we die, then we have died in the right cause. And indeed, many of us died. But that did not deter us. We continued because that sense of nationalism is in us. Somewhere, we differed. Some internal contradictions developed that made us to differ. Some went away, but we continued fighting until at the end we got this country. We made it possible for the people of South Sudan to cast their votes in a referendum whether they want to be part of Sudan or to be independent. That was nationalism. Now South Sudan is independent. But are we free? Liberation. We need to liberate ourselves from other challenges facing our people. Poverty is not the enemy. From which we need to liberate ourselves. Hunger, illiteracy, tribalism, diseases, backwardness. These are challenges that we need to address ourselves with. Some of us, we are now in Juba here, some of us have rebelled in the bushes. Some came back because they found it difficult in the forest. You sleep there, there are mosquitoes, hunger, diseases, and you are being hunted. What by the government forces? You have nowhere to hide. Your family has remained behind. You become homesick. So many of them came back. Some went there so they have to go and they come as under peace, and they come and they go and give themselves ranks. And when they come, they are absorbed with their ranks. And they will say, okay, I'm getting little money, but this person yesterday was behind me, junior to me, has come down and become a senior person. Let me go to the bush again for 5 days, 10 days. I'll come with a different rank also. So what is driving them is poverty. Is poverty. I believe if they have money, if there was employment, at least for a person to get employed, maybe he would not think of going to the bush. We have no, our government, of course, there's no government that employs everybody. But the government will see into it that every South Sudanese gets education up to the university level. Chances are made available, and depends on the person. If that person has a will to go up to the university, will go. And all the people of South Sudan could become university graduates. But after becoming a university graduate, what do you do with that certificate, with that degree? That degree, you cannot eat it. But education will have transformed your ideas, will have developed you, your personality, shape your ideas, and you become beneficial to yourself. You become business-minded, and you live a happy life. There's no government that employs everybody, but the government sees to it that security prevails in the country. Maintaining law and order, making standards, things that individuals cannot make, the currency, the laws, the army to protect the nation, the boundaries of the country, police, to manage law and order, judicial justice, or judiciary. These are things the government, then curriculum of education, examination for measuring the level of the children of the people have acquired in education, and measured through the examination. This is what the standards. These are what the government has to, like currency, for example. connection of the country with other countries, to become a member of the United Nations, promote trade among nations. This is a work of the government. But employment, the government will employ only 5% of the population. Maximum 5% of the population. In the form of police, the army, government officials. That's all. 95%, they left the linger. They go to the private sector. They become farmers, traders, entrepreneurs in various fields. And it is when we go and become self-employed, become wealth creators, then this is where the country become rich. Because you will be paying taxes to the government. You'll be developing your own resources. Now, see in Juba here, people who are making money are people in the market. And unfortunately, these are foreigners from the neighboring countries, from Sudan, from Eritrea, from Ethiopia, from Uganda, from Kenya. If they decide now to lock their businesses or go away, we will suffer. Because we are not there in the market. We don't have industries. When we talk about the economy, things are very expensive in the market. Money will be increased. Now where will the government get the money from? If we are not productive, we are not money making. We depend on what we export. And if we export, we import goods, everything from outside, we import. Then also we are paying out the dollar, the hard currency, in order to bring those things. Then we are bringing this, but we are sending the hard currency out. Our situation will never improve at all. We need to manufacture. We have industries making soap, oil from the oil seeds. We have the simsim, the groundnut, the sorghum, the maize. We can produce all these things. But what will make the people produce, our population? It is when they get market for what they produce. And who will buy this from them? It's you, the Caucus. When you collect your money, you get the machinery for processing whatever they produce and install it, and buy this from the population. You come and process it and take it back to them in form of finished product. This is where our economy will take off. Otherwise, we don't manufacture, then this country will not move. And it's you who will do it. Now, with this Caucus, I think this is a step in the right direction. I encourage you to continue in that way, and also happy in that I have seen all of you here, you have moved away from politics. Issues of association, tribal association, and all this. Now you come from all over South Sudan. That is what we want, and that is the direction our people have to take. Leave politics. Politics without money, you don't make money, it doesn't make any sense. With politics, you cannot build this country. So we must be commercial minded. I think this is what I encourage you. continue with that spirit. And if this is how you make president, you come to understand yourselves, intellectuals, you will find that the issue of politics will leave with some other people, but continue making money. A person that is much more comfortable is the business person. Politicians, when you go to politics and you are poor, you will become corrupt. You will become corrupt. But if you have money, you will not even feel like taking anything from the government. You can even donate your salary to the poor people, to the young people. So I think continue, and when you tomorrow you will become the leaders of this country, and then when corruption will die. Will not be there again. Thank you very much.
You too late, Randy. I could be at the red. So that Right Reverend Bishop Isaiah want to depart. So they are free. But please, our elders, stay put with us. Caucus is a very generous organization. We have water to share. So please stay put. With not, I would like to pass through a list that I would want to recognize. Caucus City recognize the President of Honorable Dengtiala Yurkur. We recognize the President of General Dr. Malwala Yomdor. We recognize the President of Major General Biur Matoto. We also recognize the President of Honorable Dr. Abraham Maliet. We recognize the President of Major General Tut Jok. We recognize the President of Honorable Former Minister Peter Nulga Kwak. The mother sign, Honorable, you are highly welcome. We recognize the President of Honorable Mayan Alir Mading. We further recognize the President of Dr. Akau Agai Aguto. We recognize the President, Mr. Nyuana Akwelpat. And we further recognize the President of Ambassador Philip Nyuana Akau. We further recognize the President of General Ajang Madam. And we recognize the President of Honorable Akenyi Marial. We further recognize the President of Honorable Akenyi. We recognize the President of Major General Dr. Manyang. And not to forget the people who are covering our President. We recognize the media that is covering our event. I also recognize the fact that our ladies, the members of Caucus, they dress it so well, very beautiful today. Please clap for them. Yes, I was told by protocol that another elder of us want to leave, Honorable Dengtiala Yurkur, Allah. Up to here, I want to call upon the next speaker, and I will disappear and then have my seniors doing the rest of the job year after. You know, all of us here in this room, 2/3 almost, we grew up somewhere either in Kenya or Uganda. And those who were in those days protecting us from things that might come across our ways are here ahead of us. So, members of Caucus, this is the second last speaker before our chairman. I want to call upon Ambassador General Gitai to come and at least say a small thing to the kids that have grew up in Kenya. Thank you. I also recognize the presence of Ambassador Yelakame. Yes, sir.
I'm a general, I'm used to ambushes, so you will succeed in this one. Excellencies, Deputy Governor and the generals available here. I want first of all to introduce myself. My name is Ambassador General Tai Gitwai. I come from Kenya, and I'm the chairman of the reconstituted Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission. How many of you know that commission? Just raise your hand. Thank you very much. You should all be knowing, if you're in business, first thing you think about is risk management. And of course, RJMEC deals with issues of security. Of course, we are basically monitoring the implementation of the agreement that was signed by the parties. But this is not issues of politics, so I'll finish there. I want to thank one individual who invited me here, called Lavington. Lavington, stand up. This is my friend. He is the one who brought me here, and you can imagine his name, so you can just imagine what I'm talking about. I also want to say that for those of you who have grown in Kenya, we are your brothers. And I think, ama namna gani? Tuko pamoja? Very good. So I'm one of you. We are brothers, and I feel very welcome here with you. And also, I think that's specifically why I thought, even though he's a young man and you want to invite these young people's function, I said, why not? Let me just see, because this is a constituency I have not seen before in this country. I deal with the generals, politicians, people who are different. This is a different direction, and I'm very impressed, honestly, and I will be very frank with you. I didn't know there is this kind of people in this country who are intellectuals, who are really thinking about the future of this country. Sometimes I get worried, but now I am very confident tonight that we are getting somewhere. When I listen to the analysis by this distinguished gentleman about ICT, I begin to think about the future now is digital. If you are not talking about digital, you are out, you are nowhere. So this is the future. And just like Honorable Manyanga said here, you are the future of this country. And the future is now. You know, sometimes talk about future. The future is now. You are the ones who should lay the foundation on the area of economic development of the country. And there's a lot of potential in this country. There's a lot of things that you can do. And if you spend years out there, most of you have spent abroad, studied abroad, you have studied everywhere. Why don't you import those ideas back home? This is home. This is home. Home is always better. You can be having a home in Lavington, or you can be having a home in Leshua and all those places. But eventually, this is home. So let us bring those ideas back home. Even as we want to stay here, we don't want to go to Nairobi. So we want this place to be like any other place in the world. And that's where we're working very hard to be able to establish ourselves in a way that we make friends here, so that we can also, this is very close home. And we feel very much attached with South Sudan. And therefore, I feel that having met all of you, I see a different direction or a different perception that I did not have, that actually, I thought you guys, you exist maybe outside the country. I didn't know actually you are home. Because maybe it's me who has been ignorant. I've been dealing with the militaries and the politicians and other people. But I thank you, Lavington, for letting me see this side of South Sudan. I also want to say that going forward, I think what is important is for us to remember that in every business that you have, remember that you are the foundation that you make that next step of this country. Let the politicians who fought for independence of this country, they have done their part. You fight for the economic emancipation of South Sudan. And make it a calling. Make it a calling, just the way they even shed blood for this country. Let your intellectual prowess work for the future generations of this country and for yourselves and for your children. And one more thing, Juba is not South Sudan. Let's have this meeting in a way, in Bo, in Torit, elsewhere, so that you can go to see the same kind of a level of hotel like this one. I've been driven our V8 up to there, not flying. Not flying. So let us think about those infrastructure development that can only come from business that you have created, that you have paid tax, that there's enough money to do those infrastructure. It is never late. There is always the first step. Even 1,000 kilometers, you always start by one step. This could be the third or fourth step. A luta continua. Let us continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ambassador, and thank you so much, Lavington, for showing him the other part of South Sudan that he didn't know. And just because I felt jealous him talking to the Kenyans who are in this room, we felt left out, the Khartoumers. So they have been telling me since, you speak in Arabic, and I told them you always don't hear what I say. But I just want to say something small. That was triggered by the jealousy though. لا تجعل حما واحدا ينسيك ألفا من النعم. A seed today is a forest tomorrow. I think we have benefited a lot from the speeches that we heard today. We know the way forward from here. Of course, we have our deputy governor here, but I don't have that capacity. As the MC, I give this opportunity to Simon Akwi to come and call our, and the chair of the committee. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Atom. By the way, earlier I said Atom Paul, being the deputy of Caucus. I want to apologize on that. He is Atom Majuk. Yeah, to be correct. My apologies. Before I call the Honorable Deputy Governor, I want to, as the chair of the organizing committee, I want to thank all of you for turning up and coming here. I also want to thank my members of the committee that have worked very hard together to make this day a success. Those who are standing here, organizers, those who are in security, the Haishas, protocol, I want to say thank you very much. We will continue, and we will continue, as the General said. I'm a member of JMEC, but I have not been coming.
Why? Continue.
After we signed the peace agreement, I'm a signatory.
Why?
But I've not been coming because my business was dying behind. And I was there talking every day, so we appointed another member to be representing us from the Chamber of Commerce. I'm the Secretary General of Chamber of Commerce. So we acknowledge your role to be able to bring peace to this country, and we continue to appreciate our leaders to have held it strong up to today. Let us clap for South Sudan. Because fighting does not help anyone. And actually, businesses and money run away from war. Businesses and money don't stay where there is a bullet. They only stay where there is peace and harmony. I want to recognize my brother and Ambassador Ezekiel Lol, very senior ambassador. They were recognized earlier on, but I want to say thank you very much for coming. General Tut, Dr. Deng, you have come late, but we also want to appreciate your coming here. Last, I want to appreciate the speakers. I think we have benefited. What I believe that in our small groups, we are going to discuss these ideas and turn them into business. My sister here won an award yesterday for being the best business lady of the year in our Chamber Quality Award. And then this is very kind of you to have come today to speak to us, including our young MP. I recognize Honorable Morpat, who is a consultant. A hand for Honorable Moore. Yeah, thank you. Now, I take this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome the Deputy Governor to come and have some few remarks. He's a member of the Caucus, that is number one. Associate member of Caucus. And I welcome him. While he comes, I recognize Dr. Abraham Aliat and my brother Diengula Tim, who came from America, but he's a businessman. I recognize them in their capacity. Please let's put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome Honorable Akenyede, come and speak to us as an associate member and also as Deputy Governor of Jonglei State. Welcome, Honorable. Thank you. Welcome.
Be seated, please. Thank you. 1 minute. 1 minute. Ambassador, you come. Come, Ambassador. It's very unfortunate you are leaving, but I will not let you go without saying something. Maybe these people are going to booming very soon. Well, I was not actually coming here to deliver a speech. I was told that there is something interesting that is happening here. And then I decided to come and see what is it. Deputy Governor, Chairman of the SPLM in Jonglei State. So happy to be here. I greet all of you. Personally, I like forums like this because you are actually exchanging ideas. You are exchanging ideas so that this country can grow and boom. So, I'm Ezekiel Lolgat. I have been running a ministry which is the backbone of this country, the Ministry of Petroleum. And I have been trying to see how we can utilize the resources that we are having in this country so that we can grow our economy. But unfortunately, even this hotel where we are now, who is the owner of the hotel? Is it South Sudanese? What about Pyramid? What about Radisson Blue? What is science? The reason why, as General Kwame said it clearly, the reason why we have been fighting is to have a country, number one, independent freedom for our country, and also economic freedom for this country. If your economy is controlled by somebody else, you are not free yet. Come on, there, science. You are not yet free. And you, South Sudanese, you need to stop this. You need to stop subcontracting foreigners. Because majority of you, when I was in the Ministry of Petroleum, they will get a contract of, for example, $5 million. And they will sell it to a foreigner for $200,000 US. And the foreigner will make 1 million out of this as a profit. And for you, because you think that 200,000 US dollars is a lot of money for you, but this 200,000 US dollars also, you will go and marry more women. How are you going to grow? Mama, let us invest in our country. If you have a contract of $5 million or 10 or 20, because I witnessed this, I have issued contracts. You implement the contract by yourself so that you get the profit. Instead of having somebody to get the profit and transfer the money to Asmara or to Kampala or to Nairobi. I'm sorry, General, for mentioning this. Let us actually have our economic freedom for ourselves. So that we enjoy this country, we fought for it, so that we enjoy it. Not other people to enjoy it. We must enjoy it, that's what science. And the oil, we can use it to diversify our economy so that we have different sources of income. Because oil can be depleted. But if you have economy that is built by generating resources from hotels like this, water like this water. By the way, this water is more lucrative than oil. This water that you are seeing here is more lucrative than oil. So we can actually utilize this country resources for the benefit of our people. Continue with this crusade. Simon, I'm so happy. Where is Simon? Simon is a very good, aggressive businessman. How many employees you have?
About 150.
150 employees. Now, these people are actually making a living from his ideas and his hard work. If you have also 150, another 150, 150, by the time we realize it, we will be empowering South Sudanese who can generate money for this country. Let us continue with this secular resources, mobilization. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ya Jama. This is what called business. I'll be happy to invite more people like this, but there's no time. Economic and all of us will be booming, and then he said, them are their side. Let me take the opportunity to thank the committee who organized this annual Caucus Forum party. If I say in every table, I can mention 2 or 3 people in this room. 80% of you, I know you. Also, the caucus, the genesis of caucus, the identity of caucus, I can say I'm part of it, and I'm very happy you guys have respected and make it grow. This is what we want. There have been a lot of things we could have get lost on the street of Juba, or Sherkat, or Gudele, but all of you made it to happen, as it happened to be the one of the biggest group among the group in Juba, which are very intellectual and well-informed and civilized citizens. So, my name is Akin David. If you don't know me, I'm your Deputy Governor of Jonglei State, Chairperson of the SPLM Party in Jonglei State. For me coming here and find you, I would like to talk about the Jonglei. Jonglei belongs to all of us. Jonglei belongs to you and me. And Jonglei is part and parcel of South Sudan. So, as we heard from all the speakers, I remember my brother Paul Adok Winwellen in Logochokyo when I was in Cape Camp and you were in OLS with UNICEF. You have never changed what you like in your lifetime. And that's why you become the head of National Communication Authority in South Sudan. Congratulations, my brother. To my sister, as you were the winner of the best business lady in South Sudan or in Juba, I did not get it well. Congratulations. There is no racism in business. Whether you are disabled, you are blind or whatever, but you have an idea, you can become who you want to be. For my talk today, I want to say, Yajama, Anyang Ko, Anyang Rem, Jarod. Anyang, sometimes you are aggressive. Sometimes you don't change. Sometimes you are good. Why I say when this thing started, Yajama, Gagmotor, Kuja Walichan, Mobile, who with you? Kulan God which only Kulan God where you can overthink. Every day I say, don't lose the genesis of what you form this organization. Social responsibility. This was the word. And Anyang Joladu. Social responsibility. It starts from our president up to the last person. It's a shared responsibility. How do we make South Sudan to be what we want to be? Is when we all drink together and bugurud boom, bugurud gam. Kiman munchi wagalwe. Yen Kiloi Road char akorbin bankir abile bankir achiwokon Jongle. When you go to Jongle, when we used to go to Jongle, it used to be 6 hours to go to board. But now it's 2 hours and a half or 2 hours. Now aggressive people can give. So then you know, Bolumil, the one of J. Jamet. Simon Akui, the one of J. Jamet. Two on the Garan Mobur. I can dengi, a one of J. Jamet. Garan Mobur, Kirmaya, Polmanyang, Awanakut, Yusuf Kwa, and many of them. Kikapuyo ABC. And this credit among of all of us, the man will give it to Paul Manyang. Club, your hand to Paul Manyang. So, you know, Bichar, a bowlman can pray. Clap for them. To the water, Kinja Jamet Chukti, Aliu. PhDs are talking a war. Masters are talking a war. Entrepreneurs and pioneers are talking a war, and they are in this room. Lawyers are talking a war. Doctors are talking a war. CEOs are talking a war. Yamuchidum is to slow down and start building the foundation of our country. Let's now swallow our ego, put our hands together, and say, we can do it. We can do it. In Jongle, when I was appointed, first time I was appointed a commissioner, Simon Akwe, we have a meeting as good people. He say, okay, I know everything because we grow together with Akwe. I know everything you are going to do, but the issue of security will be a problem. But when I get challenged of something, I today can correct. When I went to Duga Jama, when I was commissioner 2014, 2015, it was a hard time. But I went and did to the point here in Juba, people talk about Du County as the peace center. Right, Simon? Why? I want to say, when I was appointed as a deputy governor, there were some areas in Jongle Either will be say government area or IO area. I went there and I said, you will lead a local mobile, if a PhD will be there, don't PhD, will be by Benathor, Kirmaya, Chibai, Lloyd, Denito, Sudan, will be by Benathor. And Benajal, all those areas, Chavana Gola Koba, Walla Kachin, even a security guard. These people of Akoba are my people. If President Kiir and Riek can live in Juba together, they eat together, they discuss the issue of country together, what is we on the ground or in the state? When I went there, up to today, Jonglei is open. Chanban in a kochal. If you are a leader, what you believe is what everybody is going to believe. I'm believing in this peace when President Kiir told me, go and stitch the broken relationship of the Jonglei people. Because Upper Nile, all the great Upper Nile, and now Jonglei are the problem of South Sudan. Please, I don't want people to go back to war. That from now I can announce you, Jonglei State, whether you are Nuer, you are Dinka, you are Anyuak, you are Shuluk, you are who in Jonglei territory, we are free to move. And you are welcome to Jonglei to go and witness it. There's no more, you are Dinka of this or Dinka of that, Nuer of this, Nuer of that, Anyuak of this, Anyuak of that, or Mule of this or that. We become people of Jonglei State. When you see the SPLM National Liberation Council, I will did each other quite. Can you think it's immediate when you want to kid it? Wani, Awendi, Kuali, Ujei, Lambo Bella, Cheletane. There's nobody who can lead the country with no his age mate. I'm coming to say, as part of you, associate of the caucus, this chairperson of the SPLM for us and deputy governor is big, and I will not do it alone. I'm asking you, I'm asking all of you, let's make from Alinithor up to Marang, up to Bor, be a visionary and pioneer street. If you guys go and resettle all of you there with this brain you have, everybody will be going there. It will be the future of our state. So please, can you make your time in Juba, but let go and resettle home? I'm asking you. Having a place to call home, it makes you grow free. Juba, as the general said before, it's not only Juba, it's South Sudan. I like that, General. Thank you. People like General Malwala Yom has opened a school. He's his own, what he believed he wanted to give back to the country that took so much away from him. So do you. Simon Akui, Abraham, Anyang, they are investing in Bor. Now, Park Palace, when anybody go there, you feel you are at home. Because it was an idea and has worked. So all of you, you can come up with anything, but it will be protected and work in Jonglei State. There is no anymore of discrimination of age or what, it's not there. So, and my time is running out. What I really want to say is, Caucus, I invited you in Jonglei for the new year, because many of you don't have your families here, or you have been working so hard, you want to spend time with your loved one, your children, and your wife. But from January onward, we'll work together and find the time that you can come to Jonglei. So that one, I also want to pass the greeting from our able governor, Dinesh Jokshagur. He said he's with you. And he still remember the warm welcoming you did to him when he was appointed 2020, right? In BMC. So please, I pass you the greeting of the name Joksha. I'm passing you the greeting of the people of Bo Town, and I say, let the caucus live for long. No more will be just a place to meet. Start building corporations, as he said before. Let's fight this thing of pride in Sherkat. Putting close and talk of song and everything instead of investing money, so single mothers, young people, youth can have something to put on the table in their families. This thing is a change. So for this, I want to say thank you, all of you. My brother Adam, please, you are invited in Jonglei too. Take your time and visit us and come and talk the way you talk. And Honorable Amor Jarod, Honorable Amor did one thing, but when she was the Minister of Health, Amor said we cannot go and bring nurses outside of our state. We need to build our own or teach our own nursing in Jonglei State. And she did. Honorable Amor, I just want these people to understand too, your skill, your love of our state have worked, and this year we have a first graduation of nurses in Jonglei, right? So welcome, Madam, and may God bless you to do more, with respect. For this, I want to say, Jonglei State, Caucus, South Sudan, this is our country. Let's support our president, let's support our peace, support us in Jonglei, me and Nene, and the peace has to be in Jonglei because of all of us. May God bless Caucus, and may God bless organizers. Asante sana.
Thank you, Honorable. You have a seat. You have Dr. Akawa is here. You can stand up. I want to clap for you. Dr. Akawa again. Yes. He's over in the theater. And he has really helped so many people. His skills have been recognized. Dr. Akawa, thank you very much. Dr. Abraham Malian is also around. I don't know where he has seated. Dr. Abraham, you are welcome and recognized in this forum. Thank you very much, guys. Dr. Mejuk, you can now go ahead from here.
Thank you so much, Simon. Thank you so much, our able Deputy Minister. Also, the Deputy Governor of Jonglei State. I apologize for that, sir. Alier, where is Alier? Did anyone yet order anything from Alier here? And it is Christmas. The Molanas as well. You know, this, the outfit I told you earlier, he came with his designer, and he does female, male, everyone. He also does the ketengis. So if you want the ketengis, he's here. If you have not yet ordered, or you have not yet placed an order, you are okay to do it now, because this is an opportunity. You don't have to drive to Konyo Konyo and order. And yet I think you have to pay me for being, you know, a marketer. I'm marketing him. And he has the business cards here. If you want to go and see the place, he's ready to show you the place, and he's ready to give you the business card. Shortly, we will be having our last speaker, and that is our chairperson of Caucus. And after that, we will have our cake cut. But before that, we want to recognize a very important person in the middle of us here, and that is Madam Yar. If you are here, just stand up and wave. Yar?
Very important.
They say very important, Yar, you have to stand up. This Madam Yar has been taking care of our brothers, Yama. She's the one with the restaurant next to the Ministry. She has a small place there. It's not even a big shop. And she cooks there. And she has been taking care of your husbands, if we have the wives here. Yeah, thank you so much for doing that. And she got supported by, she got support from one of our members of Caucus who did not want his name mentioned. But yeah, continue with that. Yes, our chairperson is here to give us his concluding remarks.
Thank you, MC. Deputy Governor, members of Caucus family, invited guests, good evening. I was to talk a lot, but I'm worried of your sitting. We have been here for a very long time. The speeches have been long, so I would not want to talk a lot. Other than this, as a forum, you know, this year's celebration is different from the rest of the celebration we did the other years. There has been a significant shift to a new dimension. It used to be like a community event, but now it is a corporate event. And you might have seen from the speakers what they said. As Caucus, we will internalize that and take it up from there. Next year, I said in one of my messages to members of our forum that next year will be a corporate year for Caucus. Caucus will mean business. It will mean business. And if we have to do that, I want to ask to close with this. And I will say it in Dinka. You know, I know Randane could Randane Chol Marodo. Wasn't. And we are now Korba P. Kay Koywa Ulang Job in Yugan. Fire, I will Caucus. Koy, which of what? Ulang Bubi Bogula Twen. As we go to our families, because later convey our regards and best wishes to your families. God bless you. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry, I have to apologize. I'm sorry for New Year. When the all years, I have not been specific, but the young women is here on green. She has a restaurant, as I said earlier, opposite the Ministry of Justice. It's just there under the tree, and she's doing extremely good. For those of us who have seen her for the first time, we know that she does the best bamia in town. So that's the year that wanted to be recognized. And the whole Caucus group is pleased and happy by the services that are always given to them by Lavington Madun. So everybody is saying thank you so much, Madun, for being the best. We just want to, we apologize so much for keeping you this long. We have our dinner and we have the cocktail party outside there. We also have another after party in P2. For those of you who do not know, Pyramid 2 is a local place there. It's just Rakuba. It has nothing, but it is still pyramid. So you are invited to join us in Pyramid 2 for Nyanpoko and Derege in that place. And shortly we will also have Arizona JJ to entertain us. For those of you who do not know Arizona, he's that quiet man who makes you dance like. But he's that quiet man. He doesn't talk a lot. And when you see him singing, you will not connect the two. Okay, the DG for NCA wants to leave. Thank you so much for being with us. But we wish if you can take with us some water. But we understand he came from Nairobi, he just came. We are having our dinner here, but before that we cut our cake. The chairman, Tokon, Simon Okui, Deputy Governor, Dr. Madwarayo, Ambassador, yes, General Ambassador, is you. Okay, for the dinner, we will have one table here, another one outside as we are doing the cocktail. Announcement, Mionako is an associate member of Caucus and his wedding is taking place on 17th. Mionako is behind there on a green ketenge. His wedding is on 17th in BMC. You are all invited. Okay, let's all pay attention here. The chairperson of Caucus and the rest of our elders, leaders are here to cut with him the cake. This is to say thank God for a very long year. Thank God for the achievements of this year and of the coming year as well. We're going to have our champagne as well.